Puts up a tough shot. Bounces around. Goes in at the buzzer. Working it down to 2-1. A deep three. Oh!
It's Propulation.
That's how you win a game.
It's Propulation. We hustle every day to find picks. You can tell us if you want to get rich. It's Propulation. We robbing Underdog and PrizePicks. We the best in this biz. You ain't telling us shit. It's Propulation. We love making money quick, fast. Cooking up a team card. The whole crew about to smash. It's Propulation. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash. The dopest team you ever seen. Winning money, stacking G's. Bookies setting traps, but they'll never catch me. Some people get addicted like rats to the cheese, but I got one obligation to bring Johnny to his knees. Holding back the props till the morning he knows. They'll be fishing in the shack, plotting nukes with the bros. Only with craw, never reload. Underrated them out, amigos. We go with honest, we seeking the bloods. We know when a fucking cheat code. Party that I'm sweating, they can't be good for my health. Some may call it making bets, I call it investing in myself. I'm picking props like stocks. Propulation for the win. Got my sips in by the buzzer now. Let the games begin.
Unbelievable. Just perfect. He did it.
It's Propulation. It's Propulation. It's Propulation. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash.
The table tennis goat is here.
Yo, what's up, guys? We had to show this, man. Something like put on your wall. Epic. We took our first stab at women's table tennis last night, and hit. They kept bumping it down too. They still stayed under. They put Akaya. They put her all the way down to 70.5, so she went over the final bump nerf, but we caught her at original 74.5. So we're gonna keep doing this, man. And I think there's edge to be had because you just got to find the mismatch when there's like these ladies going against really weak competition. So had to shout that out. We got a big slate today on Underrated. We got to fly through this. I do want to share women's college basketball play I like, and then maybe if you have a men's, you could share it too. And then want to briefly touch on a huge Aussie game tonight. It's elimination game. Winner goes on to the playoffs, and it's our favorite team playing tonight. So I got to go over that.
Nice. So we don't have very much to fit into an hour. You're right.
No, not at all. Every NBA team plays today too. Let's just quickly go over favorite women's college basketball play as of right now. Still going through the board, but it's got to be Caitlin Peterson for UCF. This should be a really good game to playing in conference. Arizona State. Both of these teams are bottom in the conference in defense. Arizona State gives up the most points in the conference, well over 70 points a game. They also give up the most free throw attempts, like crazy amount, like 22 free throw attempts a game, while like most other teams average around like 15 allowed. So they're way up there, and Peterson lives at the free throw line, man. She's had multiple games with double-digit free throws made. She even had a game where she made 15 of them. So I think she can get it done, definitely from the free throw line. She can, get 8 to 10 free throw made here and get that 18.5 points. It's a 143.5 total, which is really high for women's college basketball, and it's only a 1.5 point spread. So I'm hoping Vegas is right and accurate on their game prediction and projection here. So hoping for a close shootout, and I think you could run it back on with Arizona State players like Jaylen Brown or Skinner. UCF bleeds threes. They allow the most threes, almost 10 threes a game. And Skinner is a little bit better three-point shooter, so if you want to take her 15.5 points, that would make sense. But Jaylen Brown leads the team in shot volume, so she's definitely an option too. You can split them up, either Skinner or Jaylen Brown. I mean, we just saw guards that make threes drop 30-plus points on UCF. So, yeah. I think, Yana Neebskin, she had 35 points or something like that. I think she hit like 8 threes. 6 to 8 threes or something like that. Crazy. So it's a really solid one. And I have some other leans I'll share in the Discord, but that's the main one. And we have a good old Paige playing today. Do you see she dropped 20 points in 24 minutes the next game after being a disappointment against Tennessee?
We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, she plays St. John's. I mean, it should be a massive blowout, so she'll probably only play mid 20 minutes again. I'm not touching her because she could still go over, or she could fall short, like she did in the first meeting. I think she had like 9 points in a blowout. So yes, staying away from good old Paige. But all right. Lastly, we got tonight our Adelaide Sixers versus the hobbled, thin Sydney Kings. I'm taking the Sixers money line here. I think they opened as slight favorites, and that's because former NBL MVP Xavier Cooks is suspended and will not play. Got caught using PEDs. He's had a really bad season, so maybe he started using PEDs to compensate.
He sucks.
He sucks offensively or scoring, but he was their last only true big man. They already lost one of their big men early in the season due to injury for the season. They're so thin at the front court, and now they have to face a team that is stacked in the front court with a 7-foot Isaac Humphries, and then you got obviously Trez down there too. So you're gonna have Cam Oliver starting at center again. Let's see if he can stay out of foul trouble, but it should be a good one. I think the
Adelaide favored by 2 is what I see.
I think they were 1.5, and I guess people are taking the over on the 1.5 and got up to 2. If Adelaide just play sound basketball here, I mean, they're one of the most talented teams. They just sometimes just fall apart. It's not cohesive. Can't have Trez doing his ISO plays the whole time. They got to move the ball. They got to utilize everyone here. But yeah, give me the Sixers money line. I definitely like the Sixers first half for them to win the first half. They always come out strong offensively. Where they tend to struggle is in the third quarter. They give up big leads. So I definitely like them to come out firing on all cylinders and to win the first half here. But overall, we got money line. First play, Kendrick Davis, our boy, my favorite NBL player. What a star, man. If it wasn't for Bryce Cotton having a monster year being Bryce, he probably would have won MVP. He was second in voting. He's the league leader in assists. And we got him at 7.5 tonight. That's really good value because usually he's 8.5.
And we know he's playing 40 minutes.
We know he's going to play the whole game. Last game, he dominated shot volume and usage, dropped over 30 points against Perth, and he still managed to get 8 assists. So if he goes back to just being a floor general early in the game like he tends to do, he tends to start the game playmaking, setting up Isaac Humphries in the paint. And I think they're going to do that here because they know with Isaac Humphries' size against Cam Oliver in this thin front court, they can take advantage of it. Jarrell Martin is also back for Adelaide. He's converts a lot of assists for Kendrick on kickouts. Kendrick will drive, kick it out to Jarrell, and Jarrell will hit a 3 or a mid-range shot. So 7.5 assists, I always take it when we get it for Kendrick. Like I said, he's normally 8.5. You can also play his points because he's going to be aggressive, man. He's going to get to the free throw line. He's going to put up points. You just got to worry about Trez and others dominating shot volume. So if I had a lean, I would say the assist first. And then
J. Cole says Kendrick for the win, and he also says I'm actually taking no neck points. I can't lie.
I will get to that, and I'm right there with you, my friend.
Nice.
Next, Trez. I don't ever take overs for him, and I don't ever
look
take
at that
rebounds.
picture of him, bro.
That they made that, and
That is awesome.
Adelaide made that for him.
All right.
They called him Terminator. I don't take rebounds either, but man, with how thin the Kings are in the front court, they don't have any rebounders besides Cam Oliver. Like, he's going to eat on the glass, guys, and there's no Xavier Cooks. Xavier Cooks accounted for almost 10 rebounds a game for the Kings. So you're taking like 10 rebounds off the board. Trez is going to go all out in an elimination game. And we know Trez, when he's motivated, he's going to hit the glass hard. He's going to get offensive rebounds here. He just had 14 rebounds last time against the Kings like 2 weeks ago, and Cooks was playing in that game too, and Trez still had 14 rebounds. So give me the 9.5, but it's a rebound prop, so keep that in mind.
Let's see, Cam Oliver's at 8.5 now too.
That's another play. Isaac Humphries, if he opens at 12.5, I'm in. He was not involved last game against Perth. It was the Kendrick show and Trez, but like I said, I think he could get near 10 points in the first half here. They love to work him early in the first half. Kings do not have the size for Isaac. He's a true 7-footer. All they have is like forwards starting in the paint. So I think Adelaide, if they were smart, they got to take advantage of the size they have in this matchup early, get a lead, and the best way to do that is through Humphries. Great correlation with Kendrick, 7.5 assists. They really work the pick and roll really nice here. So hopefully it's at 12.5. He's been up to 13.5, but I think since the last game he kind of took a back seat. I think he'll go back to his season average, which is 12.5. So that's what I'm hoping for. Next, this is a more of a mid tier play, but if he's at 17.5, he's usually around 18.5. We'll see, but you got to always consider no neck. Here he's playing his former team, the Kings. You know, he went he's been in the playoffs with the Kings, has a lot of history with this former team, and he always gets up for these games, right? He dropped this season against the Kings 12 points, 19 points, 23 points, 26 points, and he's back in Sydney. You know he's going to get up for it. He has the playoff experience. He's pretty much the only one on his team with playoff experience. So they're probably going to lean on him. Now, the only problem is his usage gets destroyed by Trez and Kendrick. So even when he's playing well and catching fire, he just takes a back seat, especially in the second half. So that's why it's more of a mid-tier lean. If I had to choose, for scoring, I would choose Kendrick and Isaac here. On the Kings side, Cameron Oliver, man, this guy is a rebound machine. He just has to stay on the court, man. And the problem here is that he's got to deal with Isaac and Trez in the paint. Trez draws a lot of fouls, and Cam, he can foul. You know, he just fouled last
we
game.
Saw that.
Got an early trouble.
Fucker.
But he was cruising on his rebounds prior to that. With Xavier Cooks out last game, he would have got there. It's just he has to stay on the court. If he stays on the court and he plays full minutes, man, he's getting this 8.5 rebounds. I'm telling you, he's getting. I mean,
it's interesting. It's interesting how he was 7.5 last game, fouled out, and only got 6 or whatever, and now he's up to 8.5. Like the bookies actually did some homework here.
Well, he was 8.5 last game too.
No, I swear it's 7.5.
No, he was 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his normal line. I mean, he's a really good rebounder. Now, he just had 14 rebounds against Adelaide with Cooks playing. And the reason for that is the Sixers allow the most rebounds in the league. They're terrible. Isn't that surprising? They're terrible on the glass, and they have Trez and Humphries down there. Humphries just not a good rebounder. Sixers just bleed rebounds. So he just has to stay on the court. If he stays on the court, he's going to get it, man. You can also consider his points, too. They're going to need his scoring here, and Adelaide defense is very weak. Very weak.
12:30 tonight instead of 2:30, so that's a little bit better.
Yeah. Noy, 6th man of the year, walking bucket, right? What is he good at? 3-point shooting. He can drain threes. What is Adelaide really bad at? 3-point defense. They allow the most 3-point made. They allow the highest 3-point percentage to their opponents, and that's Noy's bread and butter. Now, he doesn't have good history in the season versus them, but they need him tonight. No Xavier Cooks. It's just him and Jalen Adams and Cam running the offense, and Tui here and there. But yeah, Noy's got to score here, man. 16.5 points. The shot volume is gonna be there. He just has to land his shots. But this guy chucks and doesn't care about life. He just shoots, even if he's missing. So, and he's at home, feeds off the energy. He catch fire from 3. I think the 16.5 points is definitely live here. And then the villain himself, Jalen Adams, man. This guy, he is the most frustrating player to bet on in the NBL. He is either nothing or 100. Like, you just don't know what you're going to get out of him motivation-wise, but you got to think, in an elimination game, he's got to show up. And after that disappointing game last game where he got ejected, and this is the picture of him laughing after getting ejected for poking a guy in the eye, like, he's got to show up. There's no Xavier Cooks. He's got to run the offense. Offense has to run through him. He just destroyed the Sixers for 43 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. And Cooks played in that game too. They couldn't stop him, man. And Adelaide, they bleed everything. Not only do they give up the most threes, they also allow the most assists. We always take assists versus Adelaide. Sobe had 9 assists. Multiple guys had 8+ assists against Adelaide. I think the 6.5 assists definitely live here. He's gonna play make. He just has to stay in the court too. No stupid fouls. He's been picking up really stupid early fouls. So hopefully they got that worked out. And then his PRA is live with Cooks out too. He can rack up PRA in a flurry. We've seen that. He just needs the playing time in. And yeah, just know if you bet on him, what you're getting into. He's super volatile, man. He's boom or bust, but this is a perfect matchup for him and perfect scenario with Cooks out. He just has to run the offense. So I would say either the PRA or the assists. And yeah, if you don't play him, then I would just stick with Noy and Cam Oliver for their scoring, and then Cam Oliver also for rebounding. Should be a good one. I'm hoping Adelaide wins. No one likes Sydney Kings right now. Sydney Kings are always like the villain, and they're always winning. It's a good time for them to lose this match. They got a lot of turmoil surrounding them, so that's what I got, guys. I'm excited for this one.
Nice.
We got to wait for the lines. These are my projected. A lot of these are projected lines. I don't think a lot of them are out right now. So.
I see Adams 21.5 points on Bovada and 31.5 PRA.
Okay, so the PRA bumped up by 1. Makes sense given the matchup and Cooks being out.
Assists 6.5, even on the over, which is good. Good deal.
I like that. I like it. He can rack up assists. He just needs his guys to hit his shots too. He had a lot of potentials in that limited time that before he got ejected that they just were breaking. So PRA probably the way to go. He just needs the minutes, man. He just needs the minutes. Okay. Big game today, guys. Oh man.
Oh boy.
Where should we start? We'll go through this pretty quickly. Start with the Spurs Celtics. Jaylen Brown's questionable. We have a huge laundry list of injuries, man. So a lot of stuff is pending. We can't call it, but big one is just Jaylen Brown's questionable in this game. So yeah, that's it. What I'm thinking here is I'm thinking Wemby under. Oh, they bumped him down. So he opened at 23.5. Looks like he bumped down to 22.5 now.
ESPN bet. Can we go over there? 24.5? Jerks.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, man. Unless he just gets hot from 3, this is going to be tough for him. We just saw Cat play the Celtics. Cat had 9 points. Porzingis has the length. And I feel like it's a good matchup for Wemby. I mean, no one's a good matchup for the alien, but I feel like Porzingis is a kind of defender that could give him problems here. Celtics have been really stout near the rim too, so he's gonna have to get it done from all his outside shooting. And then now, underrated point this out to me that Props Madness is offering this opponent defensive rank versus position we can look at now. Celtics are number 1 versus Wemby's position, so yeah, it's gonna be tough for him. But if he catches fire from 3 like he did against the Wizards, he went 5 of 8 from 3. He made 3 threes in a row. Then it could be a little bit scary. But I would just say just the straight up points, man. And then I would flip it if you want some correlation here. I think we could go over Fox's points, 22.5. Or you can alt it if you want to SGP it, take the under Wemby's points and alt Fox down to like 17.5. And you get a little bit of a boost there, payout boost and correlation. But yeah, Celtics are 29th versus his position. That's because they're getting cooked with a pick and roll ball handler. That's where Fox is getting all of his points from pretty much. And yeah, if you look at guys like him, scoring wise, 11 out of 15 have cleared their points versus the Celtics. So really solid data back that up. And his usage has been pretty steady too. He's been around 25 to 30%. And if Wemby's struggling, I think his usage will go up more here and they'll lean on him more. He has great history against the Celtics too. Looking at last year, he had 29 and 40 points versus them. So I feel like they're going to have to lean on Fox in this matchup. That's just kind of my feeling.
J.
But
Cole
yeah,
says, do they show the last 15 games or only the full season?
for the opponent,
Probably, yeah.
yeah. Or what's this 30? That's probably just for the minutes. Oh, it's the ranking. Sorry, it's the ranking. Yeah, it's probably just the season. Okay, that's all I got for this game. I'm not touching the Celtics. I will say Spurs have been bleeding points to centers. They're 25th against centers. They're like top 3 in fantasy points allowed to centers too. Especially when Wemby's off the court. So maybe you can look into Porzingis' fantasy if Jaylen Brown is out too. But it's the Celtics, man. Let's just quickly look at what Porzingis' fantasy is at, or if we even have it because of the pending news. It looks like we don't even have the fantasy, huh? Oh, we do. 37.5. So Porzingis has mainly been a first half guy, and if we're worried about blowout too. Although I think the Spurs can hang here. 19.5. So you're paying a little bit of tax. That would be a slight lean, man. His fantasy first half. I only do his points when it's 9.5. 10.5. He usually it's right there in the line. He'll finish like right at 10 or more. So fantasy kind of makes sense based on the matchup. Okay, and that's it for that game. Hornets Magic. I got nothing, guys, for this one. Franz has been carrying the team because how bad Banchero has been playing, but his lines have really gotten up there. I mean, we took the 26.5 against the Hawks because of the matchup, but the Hornets, I don't know. They can be scrappy. I mean, it's not like they're that bad against his position either. So it just feels like a nasty game, right? It's a 12.5 point spread too. Hornets might be really shorthanded too. Diabetes might be out, so the front court could be thin, and they have some other guys out too. So this feels just like a nasty game in a big slate like this. You just stay away, man. LaMelo's out. Yeah, Diabetes is questionable. So, and Wong, their bench guy, he's probable. Okay, stay away from me, man. Indy at Washington. Now I'm interested in this game because Miles Turner's out and we get TB, Thomas Bryant, facing his former team where it all started for him. And yeah, we love centers versus Wizards, right? And we just saw what Wemby did from the outside against the Wizards, stretch big. So Thomas Bryant is also likes to shoot, stretch out, and shoot from 3. Yeah, good matchup for him. Spot up shooter. His rebounding is steady too when he's starting and playing, 25 minutes or more. So if you want to consider, and he's playmaking too, man. He's 4 assists in all 3 games he started. So if you want to consider the PRA, makes sense. It opened 24.5 last night. It looks like it bumped to 25.5 everywhere. Yeah, I would say the PRA or the fantasy, man. You always want fantasy option against the Wizards. So the spread is, I'm sure, pretty high. 10 point spread. It's the Wizards, man. They could get blown out the water. So if you want, just consider the first half PRA or first half fantasy. He's going to play about 16 minutes starting. So cool with either one. I would say that either the first half fantasy or the first half points, right? So dropped 11 against the Knicks in the first half, 26 fantasy. He even got his fantasy against the Clippers, which is a much harder matchup. Probably one of the hardest matchups for him. Yeah. Hopefully he gets up motivated for this game against his former team. And I'm not messing with anyone else. I mean, all these Pacers obviously live here, but trusting him, it's disgusting. Halliburton on a back-to-back is usually pretty bad too. He's been dealing with hamstring back issues, but it's a great fantasy spot for him. As we know, he had against the Wizards in November 21 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 by 12. But I can't trust Hallie. Even if it's a good matchup, let's see, is he at 19.5 fantasy? 21, they bumped. He got the Wizards tax, so he's normally 19.5 or 20 flat first half fantasy. So he this is the Wizards tax you're paying, and he's not really a first half guy. He gets all his fantasy in the second half, so I'm good, man. Good on that, and I can't do spinning Siakam. I can't do it. Okay, that's it, guys. Oh, Sarr is questionable, so that's something key to watch out for. I'll say if Sarr is out, man, we gotta consider Rashawn Holmes here. He's actually been playing really well, and he plays well when he's given the opportunity and starts. So, and we saw with the Pacers with no Miles Turner and having TB out there, like TB's not known for his defense whatsoever. He's a scoring big, right? So, Cat, I mentioned yesterday, I was like, oh man, Cat's gonna eat with Miles Turner out, and Cat definitely ate. At the buffet last night, went off. So Rashawn Holmes could have a solid game. But since Sarr was upgraded from questionable because he's been out, I imagine he's going to play, which kind of sucks because then, yeah, it looks like he's going to play now. He's now available, just released. So that sucks. No Rashawn. And no Wizards for me then. Sixers at Nets. Man, Nets are full tank mode. They're benching guys when the game is close in the fourth quarter. So their starters aren't playing big minutes, man. Like Cam Johnson, they won by 8 points, and he didn't play the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Played 25 minutes. He's playing like 25 minutes a game now. And especially if the game gets out of hand, he's like the first one to the bench. Really sucks because this is prime matchup for him. Look at the opponent rank versus his position. The Sixers are dead last, man. They're getting cooked from the outside. Let's see, what did he do versus them this year? Oh, he just dropped 37 points. He did play 36 minutes, though. Yeah, it's a really good matchup, man. It's just the minutes, dude. So if anything, if you like Cam, I would alt it, or I would take his first half. I looked into it. His first half is steady. This rotation, he's going to play about 15, 16 minutes. So you just need him to land his shots. Let's see. I think he's usually around 9 to 9.5 points. So if he's around that, I think it's definitely live. 9 points. Okay. I mean, he's been getting that right on the line. So fell short against OKC. Tough matchup. But yeah. On paper, totally makes sense. He doesn't really get RA, so I would just consider the first half points if you like him. That's it. I'm not touching anything else in this game, man. I'm good. Embiid's out, right? So Paul George, Podcast P's probably already thinking about All-Star break. He's probably already got his bags packed for vacation, so he's mentally checked out for this game. I want to take the under, but his lines are so low, man. They're so low, dude. And he hasn't been doing much lately. That's because Embiid's playing. Like when Embiid plays, he really takes the hit. Although the 2 games with Embiid playing, he still only put up 9 points against the Heat. So, yeah. Volatile. Consider it. Quentin Grimes should have an easy time here. Looks like his points bumped from 11.5 to 12.5, so I'm good on that. It's right there in the line, but yeah, he probably has the best matchup because the Nets sell out on the pick and roll defense, and he'll be open on the wing shooting and 3-point shooting. So, but that's too high for Quentin Grimes, in my opinion. Cavs, Raptors, RJ Barrett's back, so they're somewhat healthy, except Pirtle's still out, right? So, yeah, they're gonna have quickly. They're gonna have Barrett. They're gonna have Scotty. So I'm not touching anything. And then it's probably, if Cavs do their normal things, probably blows out, right? Mobley could have his way against Mogbo here, and then front court. But I'm good on that, man. Yeah, they just played the Bucks, right? And I think what did Big Burlow do? Did not play the. Wait, sorry, I'm looking at. Okay, I have the filter on wrong. They played who? They played recently. They played. Oh yeah, they played the Sixers. That's right. Embiid had like 27 points. A lot of free throws. Yeah. I feel like you got to go first half here with Cavs, and I hate choosing first half with them, man. They switch off on who pops off in the first half. So you could land on a landmine choosing the wrong one there. But yeah, I would say one of them is definitely going to have a good, solid first half, especially in the front court. Hawks and Knicks. Yeah, Hawks catching Knicks on a back-to-back. We just saw Cat drop 40 on the Pacers without Miles Turner. Brunson did what? Absolutely nothing. What do you have? Like 5 fouls or something? Did he foul out? Watch him show up and pop off today. That's just how it goes, right?
He only does bad when he's a taco.
Yep. He played 23 minutes. So he's the freshest out of all of them, right? Because all the other guys played their normal minutes. Cat played 38. Kel only played 29. Josh Hart plays 40. Yeah, it's just setting up for Brunson to pop off. It's a great matchup for him. Hawks 25th against his position. He has good history. Just dropped 34 on him. Yeah, setting up for Brunson. I can't do it though, guys, still. But if you're risk adverse and you want to go with it, I get it, man. But 27.5, it's high. Good matchup though for all those guys. Hart, especially Hart. I think they're dead last versus his position. Yeah, 29th, and he cooked him this season. 14 points, 21 points, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. So the RA is definitely there. His RA is taxed, probably because of the matchup too. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep staying away from the Knicks, if I can. And this is the slate to do it on a big slate, right? Good spot for Trae Young, but it's Ice Trae. Knicks 27th against his position. They're really struggling against pick and roll ball handlers. They just fell dead last defensively against that play type. So, and that's Trae, bread and butter, man. And yeah, good history, solid history throughout his career, especially in MSG. He loves playing there. The crowd hates him. He feeds off of it. So I just can't do it, man. It's Ice Trae. Super volatile. Bucks at T-Wolves. Can't do anything here, man. Too much pending injury. What do we got? We got Ant-Man's questionable. Dame is questionable. Yeah, that's huge. So can't call it, guys. I would say if Dame plays, he's in a great spot. Guards have been cooking T-Wolves, scoring guards like him. So, and he's on a heater right now. But who knows if he plays? He was downgraded too, so that's never a good sign. And Ant-Man is just questionable with the hip, so he might play. Yep. So wait and see on that. Heat at Thunder. This should be a blowout, right? Hero is questionable. Chet is sitting for rest. Terzier popped up today, downgraded to questionable for illness. Yaquez is questionable. They're gonna be thin, guys. There's some illness going around this team, man. They've been too close to each other. They're all sick. Duncan Robinson, Yaquez, Rozier, and Tyler Hero. They're all sick. So feels like a blowout in the making. So, with that said, I mean, you guys want to go under SGA's 32.5 points here? Or are we scared?
Never
Heater
scared to
eight-
go under.
Heat are 8th against his position. Last time we played him this season in December, he dropped 25 points, 38 minutes, and they only won by 7 points. I don't see him playing 38 minutes and only winning by 7 in this matchup. 14-point favorites at home. I wish Chet was playing, even though it was limited minutes, eat up some of the usage, but 32.5, man. Oh, it looks like it's bumping down places. So some places are putting it at 31.5. Because he opened at 32.5 everywhere. But he lives right at that 31, 32 line. I might consider it, man. I mean, this should be... If all those Heat guys are out, this should be a bloodbath. It's just going to be Andrew Wiggins and Bam carrying the team. And Ware here and there. Also, what I like is that Davion Mitchell, like, if Rozier's out and Yakquad's, like, Davion Mitchell's going to have to play big minutes, right? Like, he's going to have to be the playmaker, ball handler. So, and he's always known for his defense, especially this year. He was playing phenomenal defense on the Raptors for the extended time he was starting. So, he could slow down SGA a little bit too. Slow him down just enough for him to fall under his season average. So I would like that if Rozier's out. So I'll say this: if Rozier is out and we get Davion starting, I will consider SGA's under 32.5 points even more so. Not to say that Davion's going to shut down SGA. It's just I think he's just going to slow him down enough, just enough. I don't see a Fliff line. Maybe they removed it, or it's not updated. So we'll have to see. It's 32 flat on PrizePicks though. Or you can alter it on Underdog to a higher line, like 34.5. Pistons and Bulls. What a shit show last night, guys. Bulls shot 35% from the field, like 19% from 3, and then also 60% from the free throw line. Awful. Vooch and Kobe White combined for, I think it was like 0-13 from 3. They played awful. They look checked out, ready for the break. Now, do they bounce back today, or do they just stay checked out and have their bags ready for the week-long break here? I don't think they shoot as bad. That'll be really impressive if they do. I mean, there's got to be some improvement, right? But I'm gonna stay away from them. I'm gonna stay away. Pistons, you know what to do, man. We saw what happened, right?
Ballers.
Sar Thompson, we were all over his first half fantasy. He had 30 fantasy in the first half. His usage was crazy in that first half. It destroyed Jalen Duren production because he was doing everything. So he had a 22% usage, which is really high for him. Really high for him. I think you can go right back to it, man. It's like I said, if he stays out of foul trouble, that fantasy should get. I think it's still, they haven't adjusted it. It's still 13.5, right? So I don't see what would change in this matchup. Yeah, he just had 34 fantasy. I don't see what's going to change. Besides, the only thing changing with him getting stupid early fouls. And then Tobias just keeps getting it done, man. I don't like playing Tobias, but his first half points, he just keeps getting there, man. And it's another good same matchup. I wouldn't play it in the same card as Sarr, even though they both are getting there. I just would split it up, but yeah, the points of the PRA definitely makes sense for him. He got his dunk too that they took down. Look at his first quarter points is 4.5, and there's massive juice on the over 4.5. He's gotten that 4.5 both recent meetings against the Bulls. He had 6 points in the first quarter in both meetings. So if he continues that, gets around 5 or 6, he just needs one bucket in the second quarter to get that 7.5 points. And then does Jalen Duren bounce back here after kind of taking a back seat? He still almost got his taco PRA, even having a very, very slow start in the first half. He almost got there, but the blowout killed him. With Asar being so aggressive right now, I probably wouldn't mess with Jalen Duren's first half, and especially with Cade there as well, dominating the usage along with Asar. So, yeah. I think he could bounce back, but I don't want to take my chances on that. So, yeah, that's what I got, man. Just first half props. I'm not going to mess with Cade because his lines are so high, and you got another potential blowout again. But if the game does go the distance, you can always consider Cade's assist here. And then Beasley has really easy time scoring against the Bulls. He played 16 minutes and he had 24 points, 7 to 10 from 3. But it's Beasley, man. This dude can follow it up next game and have 3 points, right? 1 of 8 from 3. Too volatile for me, man. Too volatile. All right. Kings at Pelicans. We just saw this matchup recently. And what do we always do against the Kings? Attack them with shooters, outside shooters, and that's like McCollum. He torched them, right? 36 points earlier in the season, and then 31 points last week. So, yeah, they just get torched by 3-point shooters, man. I think, how many threes did he have in each of those games? 6 and 6 threes. The big thing here, though, is like Zion's questionable. I'd like it even more if Zion's out. It's just even more usage for McCollum. Because we know Trey Murphy's going to black hole. He's going to chuck like 20-plus shots here. So, yeah. It would be even better if Zion's out. But, yeah, McCollum in 23.5. I feel like it's right there on the line. He can go really cold, too. Like a lot of shooters, but yeah, I feel like him or Trey get it done today for sure in this matchup. We always attack the Kings with these type of shooters. So 20. If you like Trey too, the 23.5 is somewhat okay value on PrizePicks and Underdog. It's 24.5 everywhere else with slight juice on the under. Nothing crazy though, like minus 120, minus 125, minus 130. For the under 24.5, so it's okay value at 23.5 on the fantasy sites if you want it. But he lives right around that line, man. He gets right around 20, so he's a good person to alt too if you want. And then Sabonis, what's going on here, Sabonis, man? He's just taking a back seat, chilling for All-Star break because this is a phenomenal spot for him. He just had 27 points against them. He would have had even more if he shot better from the free throw line. He shot 60% from the free throw line, went 6 to 10. So he could have even dropped a 30-burger, which is a lot for Sabonis. I don't see, like, especially if Zion's out too, it's one less big body in the paint. Like, I don't see anything changing them, stopping them here, right? So, and the rebounding is massive. So the Pelicans are dead last defensive rating overall. They're second to last in points allowed in the paint, so they're allowing the second most points in the paint. And then they're 28th against his Sabonis' position against center. So everything checks the box for Sabonis. And then rebounding. Rebounding, they're allowing the third most rebounds. And Sabonis killed him on the glass, right? 20 rebounds, 16 rebounds in both meetings. His assists are down. He only had 3 and 2 assists there because he was more aggressive. And just overall, his playmaking is down, right? He lost some spike games, but yeah, his potentials are way down. So I would just consider the PR or points here, man. 34.5 PR. Some books have bumped up to 35.5, like Bet365. So I would consider the 34 and a half. I'm not seeing Fliff, so something must be wrong with Props Madness. They're not showing any Fliff lines right now, so maybe they need to update it or fix something. But I imagine it's 34 and a half. But yeah, the PR definitely makes sense, or just straight up points at 19 and a half, or all his points down to 14 and a half, which feels really good too, because he has like almost an 80% hit rate on that at 14 and a half, I believe. Yeah, he's got an 86% hit rate on 14 and a half. Yep. And that's it for that, man. It's a good game stack. I want to say it's the highest total on the slate. Let me just double check, confirm that. 239 and a half. No, sorry. The Hawks Knicks surpassed it now at 240 and a half. So it's right there. Oh, and the Pacers Wizards. Wow, that went way up. That opened at 239. Now it's up to 242 and a half. So it's up there. Top 3 point total. Okay. Suns and Rockets. And Rockets are in a bad place right now, right? They're losing a lot of games lately. I mean, Van Vliet has been out, but I don't think that's an excuse for how much they've lost. Wow, look at that. They went on a 6-game losing streak. Finally got out of it against the Raptors. So they got to win here, man. Can't mess around here. Good time to do it against the Suns, who are coming off a back-to-back and are just not it, man. Suns are slowly fading away to the regular season sunset and not going to make the playoffs. So, but it's crazy. I think the Rockets. I was listening to Rockets beat writer. I think they fell. They were at one point this season number 2 seed in the Western Conference, and now they have fallen all the way to the play-in game seed. So let's just double check that. Yeah, they've fallen to the 5th seed.
With the Suns being so bad, do we need to do like a Devin Booker wellness check or something? Like, how's he holding up?
Not good. He's not wet. He's not wet anymore. Wet like I'm boat. All right.
I'm surprised he's hasn't been traded or talks of something.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, I think they wanted to keep him, and they wanted to move KD and Beal, but they couldn't. Looks like, is he out? He's out today too. Speaking of him,
he's done. He's like, fuck all this.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's a good spot for Amen Thompson. Suns are getting destroyed by scoring combo guards like him, so it just depends on what his lines are. Van Vliet remains out, right? And Sengun is questionable. So yeah, if Sengun's out, I think you can go to Amen Thompson's fantasy here. Let's just wait on that news. Do we have any history? So he has not played him this season, so I have to wait and see. But you could do the Thompson brother stack today in a single slip if you want. Good spot for Jalen Green too, for sure. That's crazy. They haven't played the Suns yet this season. 23.5. I would consider 24.5 feels steep, man, on the fantasy sites. Feels steep. Yeah. And then only consideration I would have for the Suns is our boy Bol. Now, he is on a back-to-back, and knowing how fragile he can be and just his health status, I wonder. We'll just have to see if he starts again. They ruled him in as a starter late yesterday. Kind of had a feeling they would over Nick Richards. We'll just have to wait and see. Played 30 minutes. That's a lot of minutes for him, and being on a back-to-back. But with D-Book out, they're going to need his offense because Nick Richards offers no offense whatsoever. And so Bobo has just earned all his minutes over Nick Richards. Nick Richards finished with 6 points. Bobo had 18. And Bobo had so many blocks, man. He was a fantasy machine out there. I think he finished with 50-something fantasy. 53 fantasy. He had 4 blocks, 2 steals, 14 rebounds, and 18 points. You gotta like him here again, especially if Sengun's out, man. If Sengun is out on the other side, I think you go to Steven Adams' first half PRA if it's pretty low, like it tends to be. But yeah, look up for Bowls first half fantasy. I wonder if they're gonna give it to us. I think they'd be smart not to, and they're not giving it to us, so that sucks. I mean, you consider his PRA, but you want that fantasy upside. Because remember when he was on the Magic, we always took his first half fantasy because he had that stock upside. So it's more mid tier, I would say. But first, you got to confirm that he's starting on a back to back because they could easily go back to Nick Richards today in the starting lineup. I guess it also depends if Sengun's starting or not. Okay, and then Lakers Jazz. We just saw this matchup. I hate it. It's kind of hard to say because Lakers completely blew them out of the water. Did they do it again today?
Probably.
High chance of it, yes. So I would only consider first half.
Under Luka again.
And what's is his PRA 40 now?
Is it lower now?
38 and a half.
Eesh.
I only see him 38 and a half.
Never mind. That's too easy for him.
I think you can still do it, man.
You could, but
he's probably ready for break too.
Yeah. Might try to show out a little bit though. If it doesn't blow out, he's getting that, I bet.
He might. John's
is the All-Star
Johnny
shit
C.
this weekend? Is this the last game? Or tomorrow?
Yeah. No, tomorrow's the last set of games.
Okay.
Woo! Our first half wagon is bumped, guys. Like, I was playing him at like 15 fantasy first half, and now he's all the way up to 17. That is steep. He did just drop 30 on the Lakers, though. But that's high now. That's really high because he's only going to play about 15 to 16 minutes, so he's got to get well over a fantasy point per minute here. So I don't know. He's just so active in the first half, man. He's getting a lot of rebounds too, which makes sense. No AD and just having Jackson Hayes out there. I would say slight lean on the first half fantasy, and then Markkanen got it done in the first half too. They both cleared the first half. Clarkson got close to his first half. He just shot really poorly. The volume was there though, so he could turn it around today. Yeah, he missed all of it. Took 3 threes in the first quarter, missed all 3 of them. So if his shot's landing today, he could definitely get there. I hate relying on Clarkson though, but he is back in LA. Replayed, so he had 8 points, and he missed. Like I said, he missed a lot of shots, so he still almost got there. Yeah, I mean, you could consider his first half points again. And then I think that's it, man. We just saw the Blazers Nuggets. Jokic just continues to rack up points on the Blazers. Ayton is done in the casket. I think he has a serious calf strain or something like that, probably out extended time. So Jokic gets to go against the rookie Donovan. Donovan went crazy with the scoring, man. Look at this. This guy doesn't score that much. 21 points, dude, when he checked in after Ayton went down. That's crazy for Donovan, man. Absolutely insane.
Big Blazers, baby.
Yeah. Don't expect that from Donovan every night. I mean, I've seen this dude play like 25 plus minutes and have 2 or 4 points. But key thing here, man, is Blazers are thin tonight, man. They got no Ayton. They got Jeremy Grant's questionable. Scoot's out. And Time Lord Rob Williams is questionable. So they're really thin in the front court, man. So that's definitely a boost to Denny. Especially if Grant's out. He didn't have the best game against the Nuggets, but he definitely racked up the RA, man. 14 RA. Not having Scoot out there is good, too, because Scoot black holes whenever he was out there. So I think you could consider Denny here. Either first half or something full game. Maybe in the first half fantasy or PRI. because he should get the rebounds here and help Donovan on the glass. Yeah, they're gonna need him big time. Donovan, you could have the fantasy upside if he gets a couple stocks on Jokic. So he only played a little bit in that first half too, right? He checked in because when did Ayton went down? Not till the second half. Am I right? Let's see. Ayton went down second half. Yeah. So yeah, Donovan played his normal limited minutes in the first half. He played 2.5 minutes. So he played 8.5 minutes, and he still cleared this first half PRA line. Now you got to imagine, especially if Robert Williams out, he's gonna play. He had 11 PRA in 8.5 minutes. He's gonna play probably 16 minutes, and then Jabari Walker will come in and play some too. So yeah, 15 to 16 minutes, doubling his time. Yeah, probably doubling that 8 minutes. It's just the scoring for him, man. It's so scary. So I would say that I would lean the fantasy because you want the stock upside. Yeah, consider it, man. As a lean. I would either do him or Denny, and then Jokic is always live. Last and but not least, the Warriors and Mavs. I don't have much for this. I would say Jason Kidd always trapped Steph, so they might force Jimmy to beat him. And Steph usually starts off pretty slow, and Jimmy's been eating up RA, and we know Draymond will eat up RA too. So I would consider Steph. Oh, they bumped it down. He was 20.5 first half PRA. They bumped it to 19. I would consider the PRA or points first half under. They bumped his points down too. He was at 14.5 first half. But yeah, Kidd tends to trap Steph, but he could change it up today. Who knows? And then same thing, Kyrie. We always take his first half unders, right? They bumped him down. He was at 20 flat, so went down 0.5. But man, the Warriors have been getting cooked from the outside, though. That's the only concern. Hopefully PJ's back today too. 21. Luka played in both those games. Let's just quickly see with Luka playing. What did Kyrie get PRA wise in the first half? And then we'll get out of here. First half, game long versus. He had 19 PRA with Luka playing, and they had 12 PRA before that. Hopefully he stays under, guys. He tends to. He usually does. PJ, please play. Questionable. And Gafford's out too. So, yeah. Hopefully Clay, even though it's in Dallas, hopefully he continues to get his revenge against the Warriors and chucks black holes in the first half. So, if you want a positive correlation, I would take Clay under Kyrie and then over on Clay's first half. Clay's gonna probably come out chucking, and you could even consider his fantasy. Probably get some stock here, but yeah, if you want a positive correlation there, and it takes Steph's under. Nice little late night game stack. Yeah, that's it, guys. Jimmy, his line's pretty high now, so I'm good on that. Oh, last game, Clippers and Memphis. I'll have to look into this more. This is the late night hammer. I'll have to think about this more because Memphis, they could come out with the injury report saying some of these guys are going to be on rest because of a back-to-back. We'll have to wait and see. Ayton's out 4 weeks. Yeah, see, Ja just popped up. Yep. And Vince Williams. Knew it. Both questionable. So there you go. Yep. They're probably going to sit, guys, so... Yeah, I'll have to dive. We'll just have to wait on how the news pans out. But no more Edie. Fuck Edie.
Big ass casket for that guy.
Yeah, for sure. Shipping container. You got anything on Reddit? Any college basketball players shut out or anything?
I was gonna look at a few just to make sure because I wanted to give you guys my favorite to throw in some plays later, but I don't have a favorite yet. So I just wanted to look a little harder.
Okay. Yeah, we'll look out for the Aussie board once it drops, and we'll cook up some cards on PrizePicks and Fliff in the Discord. So,
Cool.
anybody else got anything, or are we ready to head out?
I think we're ready to go. People were quiet today. Just watching.
Alrighty. Sounds good, guys.
Okay, man.
Peace.